Good morning, and welcome to my Monday messages. I'm Rebecca. I'm a homeopath. I'm a QTT practitioner, holistic life coach, mentor, and all-round natural health advocate. So today, I wanted to share something with you that's going on for me at the moment around exploring my edges, my boundaries. I've always been, I think I've always been, I feel like I've always been a curious person. It's the way that I was brought up. Both my parents encouraged me to ask questions, to just dig a little bit deeper than what appears to be on the surface. And I was very lucky that my education compounded that. And then the job that I did for many, many years as a producer also added to that, not defaulting to just accepting, what people told me or what I was telling myself sometimes. That's more latterly, actually. So at the moment, and I do it sporadically anyway, but at the moment I'm very conscious of really being curious about, first of all, where my edges are. So in certain areas of my life, what are they? Why are they there? And do I need to, when I'm exploring them, do I need to pull them in a bit sometimes? Or the opposite, am I ready to stretch them a little bit, to actually expand that outward? And it's that I'm really focusing on, and I'm really interested to notice that I'm getting, I was going to say slightly addicted. Addicted seems too strong a word, but I'm really loving the feeling that comes with just going where I've told myself I shouldn't go or I can't go. Even on hill walking, exploring paths that I haven't explored before, just to see what's going to happen, what's the worst that can happen. And also stretching myself in terms of my physical capacity. I have a little dialogue within me that says, oh, you can't do that. You can't, oh, that's too steep. You can't go up there. And I'm noticing that, and I'm just questioning that. And the beautiful thing is that I now have a bank of proof, if you like, my own experiences that I can draw upon when that little voice pops up. I can say, well, you actually did. You did it every single day when you were away in Croatia, hiking really steep walks and descending and really going beyond what you think or thought your capacity was. And also the payoff of doing that, of actually just going a little bit beyond where I tell myself, or where bits of me tell myself I can go, is always worth it for me, providing I go at my own pace. And that's a really key element. So it has to be my decision. It can't be someone else's decision. It can't be because I feel that I should because everyone else is. It has to be because I have identified what the payoff is. And for me, if I'm using the hill walking analogy, the payoff is always a fantastic view, a beautiful immersion in some kind of natural surroundings that I hadn't encountered before. It might be, in the case of in Croatia, it was often hiking to a very particular site or, historic building. And that was always worth it. But it's also for me about building that bank of experience so that when that voice comes up for me that says, yeah, you can't do that, Rebecca. No, that's not for you. That I can say, well, hang on a minute. I have done that kind of thing before. I have pushed. Do you remember when you did that? How did you feel? And that process gets quicker and quicker and quicker every time I go through it. And I have no doubt that at some point it's going to become automatic, that I just go a little bit beyond, which is challenging my own limiting beliefs, basically. And I think you can apply that to almost anything. So understanding what your own pace is, for sure, because actually I think the biggest form of stress is to be forced to go against your own pace. For me, it doesn't work. It will really, it will tip me into feeling stressed if somebody else is calling the shots, basically, is calling out the pace. It has to be at a pace and a rate that works for me. So I suppose my message today really is about being constantly curious about where your edges are and what your pace is, and also recognizing that both those things can be adjusted according to what your needs are right now. We can often say, going back to the hill walking analogy, I'm always the slowest, I'm always the last. And that's okay. It's absolutely okay, which is a good start. What I noticed with my walking experience in Croatia, though, that I wasn't the last. I wasn't the last at all. So I now have stopped telling myself that. I need to go at my own pace, sure. And sometimes I might be last, but I'm not always last. And that's a kind of dialogue that I kept telling myself. And it's not true. So, that's my message, is to just have a look at maybe even one area in your life where perhaps it might pay dividends to just explore what your edges are. Is it good? Is it useful? Is it serving you to recommit to those edges? Or do they need pulling in a bit? Are they, have things changed for you and you just need to actually rein them in, bring them closer to you? Or could you actually just expand them, just stretch them and see what happens? So that's it. Have a lovely, lovely week, and keep on exploring and keep on being curious. Thank you so much for watching.